Can you teach thinking? Yes, and here's why you should. Welcome back to Making Everyday Magic. My name is Shauna, and if you are new here, we are a homeschooling family of 4. We are in our 8th year of homeschooling, and something that I have absolutely loved about our homeschooling journey, something that we were able to offer our children that I don't feel like their public school counterparts get, is teaching them critical thinking. Before we go any further, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. Today, I wanted to talk with you about teaching critical thinking. So, of course, I have to start this video with a huge shout out to Timberdoodle, who always provides some sort of critical thinking aspect, whether it's games or workbooks in their curriculum kits. Today, I'm going to be speaking specifically about the critical thinking workbook that is included in the 7th grade non-religious curriculum kit from Timberdoodle. That workbook is the basics of critical thinking from the Critical Thinking Company. But first, what I would like to discuss with you before I give you a look inside the book or talk with you about how we use it or why we love the product, what I want to talk with you is the reasons for teaching critical thinking. And you might think that I'm wild and off base here, but in this, in this current day and age when there is so much misinformation that not only is just existing, but is kind of presented in a bit of a predatory way to trick people, to scam people with AI and all of the things that are out in the world, it is very important to be teaching our children how to think for themselves, how to critically think for themselves. And here are 10 reasons why. Number 1 is that it fosters independent learning, which is an absolutely huge part of how we manage to homeschool, is that we have, thanks to Timberdoodle, an increased focus on independent learning. So allowing your children to problem solve and think outside of the box, solve some situations for themselves, actually better prepares them in the long run. Number 2, it enhances problem solving abilities. Critical thinking teaches students how to approach problems logically and creatively. Number 3 is that it promotes effective communication. Students with advanced critical thinking skills can often articulate their points both clearly and persuasively, written and orally. Number 4 is that it encourages open-mindedness. So allowing your students to learn how to think outside the box and to think creatively allows them to become more open-minded, because it allows for a deeper appreciation of diverse perspectives. Number 5 is that it improves academic performance because it allows students to think outside of the box and to better synthesize information that they have retained and therefore apply it better in their learning. Number 6 is that it prepares students for a complex world. In today's fast-paced and ever-changing world, it is more important than ever to be able to assess information and to determine if it is from a credible source, if it is reputable information, and these are important things, especially in today's times. Number 7 is that it builds resilience. Critical thinkers are better equipped to face setbacks and challenges. Number 8 is that it encourages lifelong learning because critical thinkers are actively pursuing diverse perspectives to learn from, therefore continuing their learning journey. Number 9 is that it supports ethical decision making because they are hearing from a wide range of voices before making decisions. It encourages them to seek out different perspectives from their own, but also to have more appreciation for those perspectives, leading them to be more ethical decision makers. Number 10 is that it fosters cross-disciplinary thinking, which, as you have a child who is going out into the career field, is a really big deal. I have learned from our studies through homeschooling that even in something that you would view as simple as science, oftentimes biologists need to work with geologists, need to work with archaeologists, need to work with all kinds of other disciplines, both in and without their own field. And it is so important to be able to encourage your children as they go out into the real world to think outside of something that they have been trained to do. So increasing that cross-disciplinary thinking is really great. I hope that my 10 reasons to increase your critical thinking teaching in your homeschool has come across clearly and that you can now appreciate more in-depth studies in critical thinking. So while I still have you here, let's pop over and I will give you a look inside what we've been using for 7th grade for critical thinking from the Timberdoodle non-religious curriculum kits. Here's a look inside the basics of critical thinking from the Critical Thinking Company. As you can see, it's for grades 4 through 9, and it's award-winning. Okay, table of contents. It gives you all of the different thinking concepts that you're going to cover. What this book teaches, so it teaches the basics of critical thinking. Unlike other courses in critical thinking, this book tries to minimize the lecture time and teach students through easy to understand explanations, diagrams, and short engaging activities. Although this is a course in critical thinking, you can pick and choose individual lessons from the book to supplement lessons in all subjects. And here are some myths about critical thinking, used mostly by scientists. Students don't know anything about critical thinking without a course in critical thinking. Evidence-based definition of critical thinking conflicts with faith-based beliefs. Absolutely not the case. Critical thinking always produces moral, ethical decisions. Also not the case. So here's your critical thinking pretest. As you can see, it's very colorful. There are all kinds of practice problems, analogies, evaluating invalid argument practices, fill in the blanks, different ways that we get this across. The way that we are using it is that, or the way that we have been using it, is just one kind of little like chapter a week. Nothing crazy, nothing hard. So here you go, arguments. It would be all the way to here. So that over the course of a week, easy peasy. It's breaking down the strategies needed, the explanations. I like that it's color. I feel like it's pretty simple, very basic, very easy to understand. And then if you are not sure what the answer should be, you can always pop in the back and it has both the answers, but also the explanation of how the answers were arrived at. And so there you go. Now, once you are done, there is a post-test. So there's a pre-test and a post-test. And then there are kind of excerpts of some of their other kind of workbooks and understandings. So again, pretty simple. Just a few questions and answers, easy peasy. Easy peasy, but reinforces a lot of those really important things that we need our kids thinking about. So this was a look inside the basics of critical thinking, available in the 7th grade non-religious curriculum kit from Timberdoodle. Guys, I hope that you found any of this helpful, entertaining, and informative. If you did, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. Of course, I will have both the 7th grade kit and the basics of critical thinking linked down below in the description box. You don't have to take my word for it. Go get a look inside the critical thinking books because they are awesome. And critical thinking has supplied over the years so many of the workbooks that we love to use. And the way that we use them is so simple and easy with just one page or one little lesson a day. It is very manageable, but also highly effective. And if you don't have to take my word for it, I gave you 10 reasons for why increasing critical thinking training is so important at a young age and especially in your homeschool. Bye guys.